Welcome to SFA All Access. Today we're going to be talking with the editor-in-chief of the Pine Log newspaper here at SFA. Be sure to stay with us. You don't want to miss it. Welcome to SFA All Access. I'm your host, Blaine Williamson. Today we'll be discussing the award-winning Pine Log newspaper here at SFA. The Pine Log newspaper is the official newspaper of SFA. This newspaper is run completely by the SFA students, here to help us look further into what goes on in this newspaper and how it's run. We have brought into the studio the editor-in-chief of the Pine Log. Please welcome Alyssa Coker. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How
Awesome.
are you?
I'm pretty good. So, what are your duties as the chief editor? I mean, it sounds like a really cool title.
Well, it does sound great on paper for sure. But as editor-in-chief, I mainly just make sure everyone's doing their jobs. I get to kind of plan out my team at the beginning of the year when I'm chosen, and I kind of direct writers, photographers, videographers, editors, and coordinators. They all have their own kind of respective position, and I just make sure that they're doing what they need to do, and we're getting the news shared like it should be.
Yeah. So is that like hard? Is it like?
Well, I would say it's challenging depending on, honestly, what news we're covering. If there's like big breaking news, it's of course a little bit terrifying because you're like, okay, everybody, I know that you're in training, but we have to cover this really special event. It takes a lot. They've never let me down, though. They always do great work, but at first it's a little bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I bet. So what is the hardest part of your job?
I would say writing the stories that you feel like the subject won't be happy with.
Yeah.
So if there was some sort of issue with an employee at SFA or a student or something like that, even if that student or employee is in the wrong, and we should share that, of course, it still feels a little bit like, am I bullying them? Even if I'm trying to be honest and just share with the university what actually happened.
Yeah, I guess that would be like really hard to kind of make sure you're not stepping on any toes.
Definitely.
I know I kind of have to struggle with that. Kind of have to pull back sometimes.
Right.
So what has been the most rewarding part of this job?
I think seeing the engagement, honestly. One of my goals with this past year, I got chosen in the fall, like I said, so I just actually wrapped up my term for the spring, so I've done a complete year of working as editor-in-chief, and one of the goals that I had, like I mentioned, was that I wanted to increase engagement on all fronts, so like social media, on our website, even when we did our print edition at the beginning of the year, I really wanted to make sure that we were being read and that the audience was enjoying what we were putting out. So seeing the follower count go up, seeing all of the paper copies basically disappear was really, really like pat on the back. I felt good about it. It was really, really awesome to see.
That's cool. So do you have like a favorite memory from being like in this position or just in the newspaper in general?
I don't know if I could decide. I've been with the newspaper for 3 years. One of my favorite memories, probably, it's pretty basic, but every Monday we have like a budget meeting, and that's kind of when all the staff gets together and we get to just like chit chat, and I get to tell them all my crazy ideas, and they're always so sweet and welcoming and hilarious. It's just so fun, and getting that community aspect of it is just great. So that's definitely one of my favorites. Also, just working on stories myself, I really enjoy. So I'm really gonna miss that a lot next semester when I'm no longer editor-in-chief.
Oh man. So would you say like a lot of your like best friends came from the newspaper?
Oh yeah. When I see them on campus, I get so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, hey guys, because it's just so sweet. It's like a sweet connection that we have because yes, it's professional. Like of course, we talk about like what source should I get for this story? These people are being kind of difficult to interview. What do I do?
Yeah.
But then they tell us like, this is how my date went last week, and I'm going to see my parents this week, and it's going to be really fun. So you get that fun balance. It's like that coworker relationship. It's the best relationship ever, and I just really enjoy it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know I'm really excited when I see my friends on campus, so I can only imagine like working with people. So how did you actually get into this job?
Well, I went through a panel interview, and it was with a lot of kind of significant figures in mass comm department, different departments on campus. Student publications director and supervisor was involved as well. It was nerve-wracking, and this was when it was over Zoom because COVID was still very prevalent. And they asked me all the hard questions, and I answered to the best of my capabilities, and they chose me, and it was a really great feeling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that sounds like a lot. Like there, you went to like everybody, man. Like what was going through your mind like during your interview?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was the only applicant, and I was still like, they're not going to pick me. I already know. Like, I stuttered a couple of times, and I was like, well, that's it. I guess I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Like, I want to log off now. But
That's good.
yeah.
So, like, how did they deliver the news? Were they just like, yeah, congratulations?
It took a little bit of deliberation just to make sure like my answers weren't a little bit crazy or
Yeah.
it sounded like I wasn't prepared or whatever. But my answers met their expectations, and I actually work in the student publications department. So one of the people that were interviewing me, like, she came and she gave me a hug and she was like, "Congratulations, you're editor-in-chief."
That's really cool.
So yeah, we have a really close relationship, and I really appreciate that too.
So you didn't start as editor-in-chief. What did you start as?
I started as copy editor, which is just you take all the stories that are published, period, and you kind of go through and edit them for AP style, which is just the style that journalists write in. That was when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
And then
And you just kind of worked your way up the ladder from
Yeah.
there. That's really cool. So after this quick break, we are going to be discussing the production process of the paper itself. So stay with us. Welcome back to SFA All Access. With us is Alyssa Coker, the editor-in-chief of the Pine Log newspaper. Now we're going to be talking about the production side of the newspaper and what that portion of the paper is like. So how does the newspaper like actually run?
We're all web-based now, so everything's online. We have a news editor in the office every business day, and they're assigned a writer, and that writer is tasked with turning something in every specific day. For example, let's say one of my writers, Emily, is tasked with turning stuff in on a Thursday.
Okay.
Well, on Thursday, her story's going to go up on the website, and then with every other writer, so there's always content every day. We try to keep something new on the website at all times, and that new system that we have since we've gone all web-based is really effective, I feel
Yeah.
like.
So you said you have gone all news-based. Like why is that? Because I kind of prefer something like the original. Right here, this is kind of what I prefer.
I know, it really breaks my heart that we're not doing print editions every week anymore. That is our welcome edition that we do at the beginning of every
School year.
Every school year, yeah, so around August, September. And since we don't do print any longer, we keep with our online, and it is heartbreaking, and I really do miss it, but I think online is good in the evolving times, obviously.
Yeah.
Everything's online, so as much as I miss it and as much as it breaks my journalism heart, I think it's what's for the best for the publication.
Would you say it's harder to do print, or would you say it's harder to do online, or is it like?
I think they both have their challenges. With print, we would have to stay until like midnight on Tuesday nights, which was like when we would design the whole paper, and that was obviously a lot for me. I go to bed at 10 p.m., so it was just very taxing, but it was so fun getting to design it, and that's a whole other skill that kind of you get to develop when you can't really do that web-based. Of course, you get to do web design and things like that, but it's just a lot different. I think it's a lot more time management. There's a lot more engagement, I feel like, and also there's a lot more revolving content. So that's a great thing about it, but it is challenging because you just don't get to feel that paper in your hands anymore, and I think that really does break a lot of hearts,
Yeah.
like yours, Blaine.
I know. I'm really upset. I really missed the hard copy, man.
Me too.
So since it's all online, how do y'all get viewership? Like, do y'all like just kind of push it out to everybody, or?
Yeah, we engage in social media a lot. We also use the typical like keywords and headlines to make sure if someone's Googling about SFA, then our things will pop up first. It's just basically the typical, like, we post on social media every day, people engage with that. We post on our website every day, and hopefully someone takes a bite there, and it's been working, so
Yeah.
we've seen that engagement go up.
Yeah. So how do you actually prioritize like what's in the news? Like what's the difference in like a good news story and like kind of what's like on the back burner?
Right. Honestly, it's if I were just a plain Jane student walking in campus and I were to hear some whisperings going on, what would turn my head? So it's basically like sometimes when there's difficulties with employment at SFA that we kind of experienced last fall, or if there's a really fun event that we
Yeah.
want to cover, or if a group of SFA has earned some great award, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool, then that's what I pitch to my team. And also, they give me feedback as well. My team is like,
Yeah.
Alyssa, that's not very interesting. I'm like, fair enough, and we'll do that. And I just really appreciate kind of getting all the eyes and ears on it.
Do you have like a favorite news story that y'all have published?
Oh my gosh. I would have to say I really enjoy all the features that we write.
Yeah.
We wrote one about the campus cat.
Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh, I cried reading it. It was so sweet. It was just a really, really good story. Honestly, the
Yeah.
writer that did it, his name's Nathan. He's a creative writing major, so he like put his little pizzazz in there.
Oh, that's
Oh
cool.
my gosh, it was so good.
That's cool.
That's really one that I love to look back and read on to this day.
Yeah. Do you have one that you wish was published that was not? That kind of like still aches at you?
Some things I wish we could have investigated, but just due to the fact that the university is allowed to say no to interviews
Yeah.
and we are still students and there are some things that you just can't cover,
Yeah.
that will tug at me. It'll
Yeah.
tug at me for a long time, but I know that it was for the best, and the truth is what we do, so we tried our best.
Yeah. So what can we look forward in the future of the Pine Log? Can you kind of give us any like kind of inside scoop?
Well, the new editor-in-chief for the upcoming fall will be chosen within the next few weeks. And the candidates for that position I know are great. They are well prepared. They know what they're doing. So I know that the publication is going to be exceeding all expectations within the next few semesters.
Yeah.
So definitely look at that. We also have our newsletter coming weekly in the email. That's something I will be in charge of next fall, so you know it'll be good.
Okay.
And that's something you can look forward to for the Pine Log for sure. And just keep engaging in that social media, and you'll stay up to date for sure.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely be on the lookout for that. So thank you so much for coming on to the show today. We've loved having you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. And thank you for watching today's segment of SFA All Access. Be sure to tune in next week for another great episode where we dive deeper into life at SFA. We'll see you next time.